Hey, I heard that you were going to be getting married from Mom. So, tell me, who's the lucky guy? Probably some poor sap really down on his luck, huh?
Hey there, sis. Glad to see that you're as rude as ever. I guess that means you must be doing well then, right?
So it is true. Are you really going to be getting married? What's the person like? I bet they're just some scammer after your money. Who else would want to marry you?
Can you please just cut it out already, Teresa? I mean, we haven't talked in ages and this is how you greet your little sister? I thought you might have been just a little more excited to hear that I was getting married. Or is it that your life is going so horribly that you have nothing better to do but take others down?
You wish that were the case, dork. I just want to remind you that no matter how hard you try, you'll never be happy. Especially not as happy as I am with my amazing husband. You're just a bottom-dwelling piece of trash and nothing is going to change that.
Okay, did you message me because you wanted to talk about something, or is this it? Because I never remember even asking you to message me for anything. If you want to congratulate me on my wedding, then do so and leave me alone.
Oh, right, that reminds me. I heard about where it was that you were going to be holding your wedding.
I guess news really does travel fast these days, doesn't it?
You really think that your wedding is going to be good enough to make it worth holding at a place like that? What are you, a moron or something?
What are you even talking about, Teresa? If you have a problem with where I'm holding my wedding, then you should just come out and say it. Why are you even acting like this anyways? We're both adults, but sometimes it feels like I'm the only one who acts like it.
Oh, really? You think you're so much more mature than me, huh? Well, I think that you're just getting upset because you know that what I'm saying is true.
I really don't think that at all. Like, even one bit.
All I'm saying is that the place you got for your wedding is way too good for the likes of you. And just how many people are you going to be inviting anyways? You seriously need to learn your place.
Wait a second. Are you just mad about where I'm getting married because it's in a bigger venue than where you did?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you really think I would let myself be bothered by something so stupid? I just think that you're getting a bit uppity and need to stay where you belong.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, I don't think there's anything to be worried about. My fiancé made the reservations, and I think most of the guests there are going to be his anyways. He was going to be inviting friends and family, but also some people from his work as well as business partners. Does that make you feel better about the whole thing?
So what? Your husband works for some kind of big company or something like that? Is that your way of trying to brag about him to me?
No, he doesn't work for a company or anything like that at all.
Wait, what? So then he's just a freelancer or something like that then?
No, he's not that either. He just invests in the stock market and makes money that way. I don't really know all the details personally.
Wait, what? Is that the best you could come up with? So, basically, you're getting married to some small-time freelancer, and you think I'm not going to go after you for that.
Well, it would certainly mean a lot to me if you didn't bully me for who I'm going to marry. I don't really see how who I marry or where I do is really any concern of yours. So I think you'd be better off just not worrying about that at all.
You really are a stupid little girl, do you know that? Sometimes I wish I could live in the fantasy world that you've made for yourself.
I'm sorry, Teresa, but putting down others isn't going to change anything about your own life. Maybe you should just worry about your own stuff and leave me alone. Anyways, when I have more details about the wedding, I'll let you know. But don't think you're under any obligation to be there. I would hate for you to lower yourself just for me.
I found out who your husband is, Max.
What are you talking about this time, Teresa?
I really couldn't believe that it was him when I saw what he was wearing while going out into town. You really did marry some lowly little freelancer, didn't you?
Teresa, I really think you have no idea what you're even talking about.
No. I went around to where you live and I saw your husband going out. At first I was like, is that really her husband? I mean, I thought that you didn't have any sense of fashion, but this guy looked like he might have been homeless or something. Just what state could your home be in, I wonder?
Well, he works at home and was probably just going out to buy some lunch for himself. Is that really so weird to do? And just what are you doing coming around where I live to spy on us? That's pretty creepy, you know?
Creepy? How is it creepy for your older sister to see how you're living?
Well, I guess I don't really mind since we're going to be moving out soon, but still, can you quit creeping around us?
I knew it! I knew that you were too embarrassed to tell me about your husband because he's just some shut-in slob. Do our parents know that you're marrying this guy?
I didn't think I needed their permission to marry who I want. But what I do want is for you to quit creeping around my house and spying on me.
Man, I sure am glad that I married the man that I did. If I married some creepy-looking loser like you, I don't know how I would live with myself.
You seriously just need to learn to mind your own business and stay out of mine.
Hey there, sis. Just wanted to let you know that we won't be showing up to your wedding today.
Are you kidding me? The wedding starts in 10 minutes, Teresa!
That sounds like a you problem. You should just be grateful that I said anything to you at all. I know all about how you're just holding this wedding to scam people via wedding gifts. You just want everyone to buy you expensive stuff so that you can go and sell it all online and make a little money, huh? Well, my husband and I are just sitting here laughing at the state of your life right now.
And just where in the world did you get the idea that that was happening? It seems to me like you're very quick to judge about things you know nothing about. But are you seriously not going to show up to my wedding at all? Did you seriously just last minute cancel on your own sister's wedding?
It sure seems that way, doesn't it? But this is what you get for forgetting your place and trying to be something that you're not.
Well, thank you so much for texting me to remind me of that. And fine, don't show up. Have it your way.
I bet you two are dressed in just some of the shabbiest wedding clothes ever known to man. I can almost see it now. Man, what a sad, pathetic sight it's got to be.
Well, then don't bother coming. It sounds to me like you've already made up your mind about that.
I bet we're not the only ones who canceled. Who would even want to be there for you anyways?
Well, actually, things are going great, and there are even a few famous people at this great venue we booked. So we don't want or need your company.
Famous people? Is that supposed to be a joke?
No, it's not a joke. In fact, I just want you to know that I don't even think of you as my sister anymore. So even if you tried to come in, you wouldn't be able to. If you're curious for answers, maybe you should Google my husband's name and see what comes up.
Max, what the heck is the meaning of all this, huh? Why aren't I being let into your wedding? What the heck is going on?
I already told you that you wouldn't be able to get in if you tried, didn't I?
But you were being serious about that?
Of course I was. I didn't want you here ruining the day, not just for me, but for Mom and Dad, too. And just what are you doing showing up so late to my wedding anyways?
What am I doing? I want to know what you're doing. You said your husband was an investor, but when I Googled him, a bunch of TV clips came up where he's being interviewed about the market? I had no idea he was such a big deal in the finance world. Even I've heard of him, and I don't even follow that kind of news.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me that, but what do you want me to do about it? You already knew what he looked like when you were spying on us, although he normally isn't dressed like that when he goes on TV.
But I had no idea what he even looked like, much less what he looked like in street clothes. And I had no idea that you were going to be marrying such a rich guy. But that means that you have to just be marrying him for his money, right? This is all just part of a big plot of yours, isn't it?
Can you please just give it a rest already, Teresa?
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I work as an editor for a rather large business magazine. That's how we met. We bonded over mutual interests, and now we're getting married, and that's it.
But you're really just after him for his money, right? You should have introduced me to him when you met him. I'm a way better match for him than you are.
You literally had no idea who he was until just a moment ago. Can you please stop acting like you're owed anything?
But it isn't fair! I'm way prettier than you! Why do you get a husband like that?
I don't know what you want me to say to that. He is marrying me because he loves me, and that's that. If anyone is thinking about marrying someone just for the money, it's you. You had no interest in my fiancé at all until you found out who he really was. Don't try and lump me in with people like you.
What do you mean? Why are you being so mean to me? I didn't even do anything.
Except that you've been putting down my husband while knowing nothing about him, despite the fact that you've also been stalking us like a creep. So if you want to know why you're not being let into our wedding, you can start there.
But you're my sister? I have to be there at your wedding.
I thought I already told you that you aren't my sister anymore. I want nothing to do with you ever again. Got it?
You think you can treat me like this just because you're getting married to a rich guy? Well, I'll just steal him right from under you. What do you think of that?
I think that you're talking nonsense and you don't even realize what you're saying. And that's just another reason why we're not letting you in. You're just here to make a big scene and ruin my wedding.
But I haven't even done anything wrong. How can you just accuse me like that?
We literally hired security for our wedding with you showing up and trying to do something like you are right now in mind. All you're doing is embarrassing yourself right now. Why don't you save some of your pride and just go home already, Teresa?
But this isn't fair! I got dressed up and came all the way here, and now you're telling me that you're not going to let me in? It's outrageous. How could you do this to me? All I did was cancel at the last minute. Is that really so bad?
I think that you only have yourself to blame for all of this, and that it's not fair for you to act like I'm being unfair right now. Just leave and save yourself more embarrassment. You're being filmed by the security cameras, you know.
But I really want to go to your wedding now that I knew famous people are going to be there. You have to introduce me to someone, please!
Aren't you married?
Forget about that. What about after the wedding is over? Is there going to be a reception somewhere? Maybe I can just meet you all there, right? Please tell me where to go.
Just go home already, Teresa! You know, this wedding might show up in some newspapers somewhere. Can you please just go before people find out that we're related? You're going to embarrass me and our family.
Excuse me. I'm going to embarrass our family. How dare you look down on me like that? Who do you think you are? You know, Mom and Dad reached out to me after I told you I wasn't going to your wedding, and they told me to never contact them again. You're trying to cut me out of your life when I didn't even do anything. My life's falling apart right now, and it's all your fault. You have to help me out somehow.
Why should I help you out with anything when this is all your fault?
What do you mean by that? That doesn't make any sense.
I really don't know what you even think I can do for you at this point. There are already rumors flying around the wedding about the crazy lady asking to be let in. There would be no point in joining the wedding now. The best you can do is just turn around and go home to save face. All you're doing now is making yourself look bad.
I'm the one making me look bad. You've got some nerve telling that to me. This is all your fault, you little brat.
I don't have time for this anymore. I know that you've built yourself up by tearing me down, but I am not going to stand for it anymore. I am cutting you out of my life. Please never, ever contact me again. Just leave me alone, Teresa.
But what about the wedding? I still want in. You can't just turn me away like this. I'm really sorry for canceling last minute, but please?
I've already given you my answer. Now please go home and get out of my life. I just started ignoring my sister's texts. As she got more and more frustrated with not being let into the venue, she began acting out more and more. It got to the point where people began filming her antics and uploading them online, where she became somewhat viral. Her newfound popularity from screaming to be let inside of this celebrity wedding was enough to affect her husband, who was quickly identified after she went viral. It didn't take long after that for him to ask Teresa for a divorce. With no husband or family willing to talk to her, Teresa was left all alone. I'm sure she tried reaching out to me for help, but I had already blocked her on all social media, and she had no way of contacting me. Teresa hadn't worked since getting married and so had no savings of her own to speak of. I really have no idea what happened to her since then, but I've put her behind me and have concentrated on my own happiness with my loving husband and parents.
Hi, what did the doctor say?
It was a false positive.
How's that even possible? Tell him to test you again.
He's already done 2 tests. He told me that I have a hormone imbalance and we should look at that before trying our baby. He also suggested that you should come in and get tested as well.
Was there no female doctor present? Women know these things better than men.
My dear husband, I'm gonna pretend like you didn't just make a sexist remark. My doctor is a qualified doctor, and he knows what he's talking about. I am not pregnant.
It's been 2 years, and we still don't have a baby. We've tried everything, but nothing's happening.
I know, and I'm sorry. I really want to have a baby, but it's so difficult. I've always dreamed of starting my own little family, but lately, it's been hard to see that dream realized.
You're not trying hard enough. This is all your fault. You drink, you're always outdoors, and you hang around with your friends that smoke. On top of that, you eat food that you shouldn't. Do you understand how important it is that we have a son, so we can carry our family bloodline? When you married me, you knew my views, and how I am, did you not?
Yes, I knew, but please don't blame me. I've been doing all I can. But it'd be a lot easier if you could also try the methods that are recommended.
Everything's fine with me. It's you. I do everything for you. I work and pay the bills. And I even have someone who cleans the house for you, so you don't have to do anything. But focus on bearing me a child. What's the point of our marriage if we don't have a child? I'm starting to feel like you're useless.
I don't appreciate how you're acting toward me. You know what? I'm going back to my father's house for a few days. You can stay in your house that you pay the bills for, and make a baby on your own. I'm tired, Malcolm. Day in and day out, I drink remedies because I'm trying to make you happy, but you never appreciate me.
Go. I know that you'll be back anytime soon. Did you see the snacks that I sent for you?
There's food in my father's house.
The way you're so moody these days. It's like you're pregnant already.
Buzz off. Don't act like you care about me.
Come on, woman, calm down. I'm trying to be nice to you, and you're making it very difficult to be nice to you.
I didn't ask you to be nice to me.
Fine. I'll stop talking to you then.
Can you give my inhaler to the courier that I sent? I've been feeling out of it for days.
Well, since your father's house has everything, there should be an inhaler there. Oh, and I wonder what you've been telling people about why you're not with your husband right now when you should be.
That's not anyone's business. I just need space and my inhaler.
Come and fetch it on your own.
I'll send my sister to fetch it, and you better give it to her.
Gosh, you're impossible to deal with. Sometimes I think that we should just break up.
Maybe you're right, since I can never do anything right in your eyes ever since you became baby obsessed.
You're talking nonsense.
Am I? You've not wanted to interact with me unless we're talking about the baby. You only buy me baby-related stuff. You didn't even remember my birthday this year. Admit it. You hate me because I can't give you a child.
I'm not gonna do this right now.
See? You won't even deny it. Got your inhaler and some clothes for you. I can't believe that he's being like that to you. Thanks, sis. I just pray that I get pregnant soon. Then at least you'll stop treating me like that. Why don't you leave? And then do what with my life? I've been a housewife and haven't worked a day in my life since Dad took care of the both of us. I decided not to go to college because I wanted to marry Mel. But you could go back to school. He's not worth it. I think I'm going back to my house and fixing my marriage. I'll try harder to have a child for him and make him happy so that he'll love me again. Well, that's your choice. Hey sis, how have you been? I miss you so much. Oh, just the same old. You should come to visit me soon. I've been sick lately. I'm in the area. We'll come and see you in a bit. I should say nothing. It's not my place. What is it? Spit it out. You've gained some weight, and your symptoms point to something. Like what? Are you pregnant? What? Why would I be pregnant? I'm not dating anyone. Okay, if you say so, but it looks that way. Just know you can tell me anything, and I'll help you out no matter how serious the matter is. I know that Dad wouldn't approve, but if you need help, I will help you. Oh my god, stop! I've been gaining weight due to stress at college. I'm 20 years old and stressed. I can't be pregnant. I'm pregnant. How far along? Who's the father of the child? It's very complicated. I'll talk to you another time. I need to get some work done. Just know that I'm here with you. Hi, please don't tell anyone this.
What is it?
My sister's pregnant.
Really? That's wonderful news.
What do you mean that's wonderful news?
Well, at least she managed to do what you couldn't, and it proves that I'm not the problem.
What are you talking about?
A long time ago, in different countries, when a woman failed to give her husband a child, the help of her sister was enlisted.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying that we now have a child.
Malcolm, tell me you didn't sleep with my sister?
I did sleep with her. I don't have feelings for her at all. It was just to get a baby. You're still my wife, and she'll give you the baby when she gives birth.
Does she know that?
It'll be up to you to make her understand. You're her older sister. She'll understand what must be done. After all, she's the one who betrayed you.
You have got to be kidding me right now. You took advantage of my younger sister, and you don't see how that's wrong?
It was consensual.
No, I have to be dreaming. Do you think it was worth it? What? Sleeping with my husband? What did he give you that made you decide to betray me? Well, I'm sorry that you have to hear it from me, but he doesn't love you. And now that I'm pregnant with his child, you'll have to leave. Are you single-handedly trying to destroy the family? I can't let you do something so stupid. I'm telling you that I fell in love with Malcolm, and we had a baby, which we're gonna raise together. Well, Malcolm said I must convince you to give up the child, so that he and I can raise that child. Never! I would never give up my child. Malcolm would never do that to me. I get it. He's a sweet talker, and you fell for his lies. Trust me, I did too, until I found myself with years down the drain in an unhappy marriage. You're a pathetic liar. I'll tell Dad that you two tricked me. I wouldn't speak to Dad if I were you. Why not? You don't understand what's going on with Dad. The three of us can solve this, but do not involve Dad. You're only saying that because he'll take my side.
Where are you right now?
Home.
Come to the house this instant.
Dad, please, you have to understand, I had no control over this.
Don't try to make me understand. I'm deeply disappointed in you.
I'm sorry, Dad. It was all Malcolm. I didn't know that he would do this.
You should have told me when he started to disrespect you like that. You could have come home and stayed here. It is your home after all.
But Dad, I didn't want to stress you. You're terminally ill.
Don't fear my health and tiptoe around me like I'm already dead. I know that I won't survive this, but what I want in my last days is for my daughter to be happy.
I don't want to see Ivana ever again in my life.
Same goes for me.
What do you mean?
I've kicked her out of my house. I don't know where she'll go, but I don't have a daughter who goes after her own sister's husband. She came running to me, making it seem like she's the victim. I've been noticing her recent movements. I suspected there was someone, but to find out that it was my own son-in-law is what made it too painful. Now pack your stuff and come back home. That hooligan better be glad that I'm too weak to teach him a lesson.
Okay, Father, I'm coming home right now.
My poor baby, you should have told me everything from the very beginning. I never liked that man. Something about him always rubbed me the wrong way.
I told you not to go to Father with this. Now look what you've done. If his condition worsens, then I'll blame you. What are you talking about? Father has cancer. But he said he just has a fever. When did he get diagnosed? A few years ago. It's been advancing for several years now, despite treatment. He told me not to tell you. That's why I didn't want you to tell him. I didn't want your filthy deeds to be the last thing he remembered. What exactly did you think you were going to achieve by telling him? Did you think he was going to give you his blessing just because you're the youngest and the apple of his eye? Dad was supposed to take my side. After all, I'm the one studying business. I'm going to take over the company one day, not you. You're selfish. You couldn't even let me have one thing. I didn't want Dad to be stressed in his final days. I didn't know he was sick. Why didn't you tell me? This is all your fault. Stop blaming me. No, that was all you. You and Malcolm decided that you wanted to betray my trust on your own. It's not my fault that it cost you your relationship with Dad. Why'd I listen to Malcolm? Now my dad hates me and he doesn't want to speak to me. You're more than welcome to move in with him. I've moved back home. You planned this. I don't believe for 1 second that you're innocent. The thing with people who hurt others is that they think everyone else is plotting to hurt them, and that's not the case. Whatever. Mal and I just went for a scan, and our baby's growing fast. Good for you. I went back to school. Dad has to have at least one daughter with a head on her shoulders. I hope that you wake up and realize that he's using you one day. Dad's gonna forgive me soon. After all, I'm carrying the heir to his family. That's the smart business choice to make. You're an infertile divorcee. Oh, really? Yes, he's coming to dinner tomorrow night. You better start packing your bags. Just because he's coming to check in on you doesn't mean that he's forgiven you. You're such a simple-minded little girl. Did you just insult my intellect? I don't have time for this.
How can you ruin everything without even being present?
I take it that my father's told you that he's leaving everything to me?
Why didn't you warn me?
Well, I owe you nothing. You're my ex. For the past few months, he's been training me so that I can take over the company.
But your sister's the one who was supposed to take over the company. You didn't even go to college.
Yes, I didn't, because you promised me the moon and the stars. And then you decided to try and knock me up, so I would have the heir to the family, and you would benefit. Afterward, you got my sister pregnant, knowing that that would keep you in the family. And since I've never questioned your decisions, you never thought I could leave you.
Well, congratulations. You won. Ivana just left me in a fit of rage. She's blaming me for the stuff that you caused.
I caused?
You were supposed to be a good wife and give me a child. If you'd done that, then I would have never even looked at her.
You didn't want a child. You wanted a way to get my father's fortune. My sister has at least woken up to that, even though it's a bit late.
I will not forget what you've done. What you've taken away from me. My child's out there, and I don't know how he is.
Well, you can loathe me all you want, but it won't change that it's game over for you. I won. What made you think that you could use me, and that there would be no consequences? Well, you neither have a woman by your side, a child, or a fortune.
You are evil incarnate.
So I've heard. Allow me to speak to Father once. He doesn't want to speak to you, and he's unwell. I don't want you to upset him, but there's something which I must tell him. Tell me, and I shall convey it. I suspect this isn't Malcolm's child. Surely that will make him change his mind and take me back into the family? What? Why have you been quiet all along? Malcolm said he would take care of me, but it seems he just wanted the money. I think it's my ex's child, which means that all along he had the problem, but was making me feel bad. Yes, I'll speak to Father. I can't make promises. My sister never got to see my father, for he passed away that night. Everything was left to me, and I've been running the company with the help of his advisors. I gave my sister some money to leave me alone. We've gone no contact. A DNA test also revealed that the child wasn't Malcolm's, so I guess I wasn't the one with the problem.